Okay, good morning, everybody. Sorry for there's some technical issues all the time with my software. So, anyway, this is, I gotta still have some problem with the sound. So, I hope you guys can hear. And today's video, I will be showing basically, this is the extension of the last video, the how to keep the transparency in watercolor. And so I'm going to continue the same video today, and it will be another segment for that video next week also. So let's get started and see how can we do today. Okay, let's start. So what do you need? Basically, uh, palette. Like I said, I introduce my palette all the time, every week when I start the class. Just want to go quickly: cobalt blue, ultramarine, French ultramarine, Prusian blue, sepia, burnt umber, cadmium orange, cadmium yellow, pale hue. I have a Naples yellow by Amgram, Van Gogh, lemon yellow, cadmium yellow, deep hue. I have this is a cadmium yellow also with the or I had the old tube. So and anyway, so cadmium red. I have rose madder, cadmium red, some purple color here, some green swatches. I don't remember exactly up to here. All these are green swatches here. So this is the Payne's Gray, the famous Payne's Gray. Lavender, I have some lavender in my palette also. The purple color, I like this color. This is made by Van Gogh also. This is works really good when you need some kind of a like a subtle type of shading or in a sky mixed with the other color, tone down the other color. So, and this is the Cerrulian Blue, both. This is burnt sienna, raw sienna I have, and the yellow ochre. I've just put it because I don't have the space in my palette, so I put the raw sienna, the yellow ochre, and the sunburnt sienna here to mix my grays, right? You should know by now, burnt sienna, if you mix with cobalt blue, ultramarine or French ultramarine, you get a nice gray color, which is almost same as like a Payne's gray. Let me mix quickly to show you what it is basically. So if I pick up some burnt sienna here in my palette, let's put some water. Drag the pigment down here in the puddle. There's some cavity here in my palette, and I want to mix with my color. So here, basically, if you mix more color like gray color, you use it all the time. So mix enough. You don't need. It's not gonna waste. So it always can be used for something in your painting. Now, if I pick up a cobalt blue, let's pick up. I don't use cobalt blue very often, but let's use cobalt blue. And there you go. It's a beautiful. Let me get my sketchbook so I can demonstrate what color this is. Basically, here. This is from the last week actually. Let me flip the page. Oh, you know what? Let's do it here. Actually, so here, nice. You can tell such a beautiful gray color. All you need is the burnt sienna and cobalt blue. So that's how you mix your grays. If you have a Payne's gray, you can get a Payne's gray. See, the Payne's gray has towards more like a darker type of gray color, right? So if you want to make this mix a little bit more gray, so you can do for sure, not a problem. So let's get the okay. So let me mix more cobalt blue in it and my burnt sienna. So now look at this, almost same color, almost the same color. Just get some more burnt sienna, and if you put it here, see it's become more kind of a dark brown color. If I put here a little bit dark because I put some more cobalt blue, and now it turns into a uh, nice color, the a nice gray color, dark gray color. Okay, so I had to turn some settings. Still, it asking me turn off some certain stuff. Anyway, so this is if you don't have a Payne's gray in your palette, you can still mix your own Payne's gray neutral tint. Also, it's called, and you can mix your own colors like that. Okay, so let's get started. I This is a quick tip for the day, and the sound is not the best. I don't know what happened today. The channel is not very happy. So let's get started with the painting, and let me do a quick demo here. Actually, right here on the colors I put it. So see that color is still wet. Let me just go closer. It's too far. So you lift the color by just dragging your brush, right? Clean your brush. Make sure the brush is very dry, right? Dry. And then you see that I can make another mark here. What happened if you use if you use the color? Let's say if I bring my white color, right? So white color won't replace. It's very hard for you to paint on the opaque white, right? Although I have opaque white here, which is I use all the time. So if I use the opaque white here, so let's get some opaque white. Actually, you can do that also. There you go. So you put this here, here. So let me clean my brush because it's very deep type of pigment. So if you don't clean your brush, it contaminate your the other colors also. Be careful when you mix white and that kind of white, then you have to be a little bit careful to not to mix that with the other colors, right? It's let's get this done here. Okay, so now if I go, I can make something here. I can make a tree or you know anything if you want like this. But the problem here, if I use let me, you know what, let's try here. So if I try to make a tree here, although it's still wet, right? So, but if I make a tree here, it doesn't work like it works here. Basically, when you lift the color, so it basically working on the paper, not on the color or pigment itself, right? So you can do both. You can lift the colors. You can go put some water or dry brush like this, and you can lift the colors. The paper has to be a little bit heavy duty paper. If you're using a 90-pound paper, you might have problems. So make sure that you at least your paper would be 120 pound. So what happened, 120 pound paper will be sufficient for that kind of work. So if you are working this type of paper, a 90-pound or thinner paper, then you will be see some deterioration of the paper because you are lifting color. You are kind of abusing the paper, right? So if you have a thin paper, which is this one I have in my sketchbook, is not very heavy duty paper. Even that is less than 90 pounds. So if I put so much water and try to drag my brush, then it will be a problem for me to lift the colors on that type of paper. Anyway, now the other way is you can grab, I have a very stiff type of synthetic my acrylic brush I use for the acrylic painting. If you use that, you can lift the colors with that. It works really good because it's that brush is very hard brush, and you can lift the colors with that also. Let's make sure your brush is dry. Otherwise, you keep putting water and then it'll create more problems, right? So here I lift the colors from this cadmium red wash. Let's put another mark here. Here. And you can go and just lift these colors with your sponge or paper towel, whatever you have, because you are not disturbing the rest of the wash, right? So you are just lifting the colors from where you put the line. Now you go get the sepia color or any other color you use. Just put it in your palette. I would recommend it. Put it here with the previous mix of gray we have, and then you start painting here with the see, it's still wet, right? So you can make like a birch tree or something. Just put droplet of that make the dark gray color. Just put a little bit here, there. Okay, and then once it basically the outer the surface is dry. So if you need to make a branches, I would pick up a nice my liner brush, which is the I think number 3 liner brush. So I use this, and then you can go and make some branches like that. See, the paper is dry, so it creating a nice crisp type of marks. But as soon as you get into the paper where it's wet, it just it will be start smudging, and that you have a less control on your sketching you're doing with the brush. So here, let's put some here also. Now I will go pick up some raw sienna, mix raw sienna in my palette, and then you just drop a little bit here and there try to create some more texture, right? More texture, like this. So easy, very simple, easy painting. You don't need to do a lot of work here. And again, see that wash here? I can, without lifting the color, I can just put a mark here. There's a straight mark of any tree or tree trunk. And then you go put some more colors and then you create a small painting here. I'll show you what will be the difference between here and there just in a second. Actually, I want to show you something. This is a very nice, I got a Raphael brush here, and it, uh, let me check where's my brushes, right here. So this is the old brush I have. Very nice, pure Kolinsky sable, and this brush will work really good, but it's kind of a little bit it's a number 10. So number 10, you need some kind of a soft brush like this. So with this type of brush you can make tree branches very easily, and it works really good. But I don't have these smaller numbers, so if you can find that type of brush, it works really good with the as when you working on the, let's say if you work on the tree branches or you making a tree, that would be the brush you need, right? And again, same time, this brush will work as good as an expensive Raphael brush. So I have this brush for a long time, and I use it not too often, just sometime when I need it. So here, let's put some burnt sienna, some raw sienna mix, and you can drop it on that tree branches a little bit because it's still wet, right? So what happened? It just give a nice texture to it. So let's come back to this painting again, right? We have this painting, and I will put another tree here since I have the raw sienna mix, right? What do? You can just go put your brush. See how long the brush is. Just put, if you don't know, if you don't want to go with the tip of the brush, you can just put a little bit like this, like that, and then you can create a nice straight mark right here. Let me just bring it here, like that. And you can, but soon as you go here, then you need a help to create the sharp marks with the tip of the brush. Okay, now I will just drop some dark mix in the tree trunk, and once I'm done, it very much depend what type of marks are you making on your painting. If you are making the marks uh, which is hold on, I think I have some problem with the streaming once again. Mhm. So right there. Anyway, I think it's still going. I will figure out, see what happened. So here, see that now you can make a nice. You can push this pigment out of the, if you think it's too much, or you can push it down, or make some more trees like that. See, even this is the washes from the previous class, right? I was teaching, and but it still work, right? That's all you need, basically. That's what the demo I'm gonna do today, and I'll show you how to create a very decent painting with the very less amount of time and less effort, less energy, and you will be pleased with them, and people will like your work. All you need just a little bit of attention, how to control the washes, how to mix color how to keep the transparency of the watercolor, and just be careful. Even though if you make a mistake, just lift the colors right away, right? Which I did. I showed you like here. I lift the color. Now let's make something out of this also. Let's put some dots here, like a tree trunk, and then I pick up some Payne's gray. I don't have time to mix color. Or you can do better yet, you can just go pick up the opaque white. Opaque white is the king. Actually, here you can put opaque white like this. It works beautiful. Actually, you if you drop it after paint the a little bit the tree, and I'll show you another trick here. Like a magic, it just very not too much efforts, and it works like a charm. So now I end up making this. Okay, now what I will do, I get us that gray mix. Make sure if you're working on a very small spaces, don't just get too much water. Like, see, if I put too much water, look, see what happened. It create a big mark. Let me just zoom it in. Actually, it doesn't show very good here. So if I put it like this, like it make a big mark, which I don't want it, right? Let's lift it up because we don't need that very harsh mark. So you go get a nice dark pigment, get the water out of your brush. Like, let me just zoom it out. Let's get the palette exposed here. Now let's bring it here. So make sure you try to get rid of all that water, the moisture out of your brush. Now you're ready. Actually, try here first a little bit. As you can see, I put a very nice mark, and you go put some. Now it works beautiful. Actually, just put the dark value against the edges of the branches, and it creates the drama of like a 3D, or it create more depth into your drawing or painting, whatever you call it. So here, actually, I'm going to zoom it in, and I'll show you how it looks like. So there you go. I don't want to go too much because we have to do the demo also. Now let me show you this here. Let's get in the camera right there. So you can tell, right? Like I put a gray mix with my burnt sienna and a cobalt blue, and very pale mix, and then I lifted up the colors, and I created a tree. That's all it is. Very simple. 10 minutes work. Just a 10 minutes. Okay. And here you can see that painting also. Well, I mean, sketch, I would call it. Here another one. So I create one, two, three sketches. Very short amount of time. Maybe I would say 10 minutes, right? You can do the same thing. Trust me. It's no rocket science. Now, uh, I have another brush. It's a smaller brush, my acrylic brush. So what you can do, you can go lift the color here, right, and lift it, make a sun or make a moon or something, create more drama to your painting. And let's get my dagger brush, nice beautiful dagger brush made by Rosemary and Co, and it works like a charm. These brushes are the best. Now I put some, actually I can put white, but it works good because it smudged the edges. And now I create a little bit moon or a sun or whatever you call. And Moreover, if you want to go further and you are like to do some more work, you can put a little bit. See that now? Be careful because it some moisture get into this. Let me zoom in. Some moisture get into the paper and around this white paint I use. Now I can put a little bit birds here. Let's make it a little bit bigger because it doesn't show. One here, maybe one there, one here. Don't put too many. Like I said, always remember, don't put too much stuff in your painting. And now I can go and put some more dark marks here on the branches. Let's get some Payne's gray straight from the tube. Mix with my, now I have this here. So now you can just put a little bit, not too much, okay? Otherwise it'll show. It is such a dark pigment, right? Payne's gray. It turns a little bit gray, but it shows right away, right? Especially when you're working on the light surface, then it will. If you have a dark color in the background, it doesn't show too much, but in a small light surface, it will show right away. So there you go. Now, very like I did this wash before, right? And for the previous class, right? And let me just it's showing me all that previous screen here. So there you go. This is basically this is what all this class is about, today's class. So how to create the transparency in your watercolor in before instead of, or you can go, I will actually in the third class which this basically this segment is very important. Pay attention because the acrylic oil, you can make a white color, you can create the white space, even though you can do on the watercolor also, but it won't allow you as like acrylic and oil. So yeah, watercolor is very fragile, like if you a little bit abuse it, then it will show, and then the painting kind of not doesn't look very good. So to be a little bit careful when you're working on the watercolor and lifting colors. Make sure you're not abusing the paper, you're not damaging the paper, right? Sometimes papers are expensive too. So practice on a sketchbook, but don't be a little bit, like, oh, okay, this works good, so I'm going to use the sketchbook. No, please don't just keep working on the sketchbook, because the sketchbook paper, once you get used to it, then you don't know how to work on the actual watercolor paper. So this is just do a small work, learn, see what's going on, and then you go back to your own paper that you use all the time, right? Okay, let's get this out of here. Let me put this out of the sight, and let's get this zoom out, and we will go and our painting. So let's do quickly. I don't want to today I already waste 10 minutes of you guys, so I don't want to go too much here. Okay, let's use the same gray I have, right? Let's a little bit purple dust, right? And let's put a little bit here on the dry surface. I didn't put anything, any water, because I need some dry brush marks, right? Remember from the previous class, if you need a dry brush marks, then you're not putting any water on the paper or from the brush. So if I put a brush I loaded with the water, what happened? It give you a very, very soft wash. Like no dry brush. Unless if you go very fast, right, like that, then it create some dry brush mark. But if I have a lots of water and then I go slowly, let's load up some color on my. So if I put it my brush here, I go slowly. So what happened? It covers the paper. It paint the paper all the way down. So if you do quick, then it create a nice dry brush mark, which I like it. I do that kind of work. So and let's cover this up. This is a purple color made by Van Gogh called Purple Dusk. A beautiful color. I don't know how to mix that color, so I bought that tube and it works really really good. It's such a nice color. So here I got this, and let's put some raw sienna mix. Let's get some more raw sienna. Put it on the foreground, midground, foreground. Some yellow ochre. Get some gray, tone it down. Put some gray color here. Okay, yeah. Let's create some dry brush marks on the foreground. I need, maybe I can use for something else. As I explained over and over in each class, that these are the uh, tricks of the watercolor. So if you leave these white, that will help you in a later time in your painting. So can be very useful. Here, let's put some more raw sienna here, there. Let's put some here, cover this up. Basically, it's all about how you build the texture, right? So more texture, more it looks better. So texture is very important. Let's put some dark color mixed with my raw sienna, that purple color. Just get some working on the wet into wet. I'm not I don't have patience, so most of my work I done is wet into wet. So I don't. It depends on the painting also, right? What kind of painting I'm working on. So now look, I have this first layer, second layer here. I think so. What I will do, I'll just put a mark here. Lift the color, wash, clean my brush, make a mark, make a big mark here. This so what I'm doing it, I'm putting a tree, excuse me, in the very foreground, and I will render this a little bit short time. Now I put this, okay. Now what I will do, I'm gonna grab my acrylic brush, very stiff Teflon brush, and I will put some trees here also. Lift the color. And it's too, as you can see that the brush is making a big mark, so we don't need that big type of brush. Now one for the composition point of view, I would put one here, right? Lift the colors with my dagger brush. Make sure your brush is dry enough to not leave the mark on the paper. The purpose here is, hold on, let me turn off the mic, okay? Sorry about that. I got a dry mouth. The dry throat. I had a cold last week, and it's still the after effects are still there. So there you go. Now it creates some cauliflower, which is, like I said, cauliflowers, no problem. Like, some people take it as too seriously, and they said, "Oh, the cauliflower, my painting is ruined." No, cauliflower is no problem. It is a way of it create the texture by itself on your painting. Now let's get the little bit. Let's get some sepia color mixed with my burnt sienna. I don't know what happened today. This sound is rebounding and a lot of issues. Now I would put a, since it's wet, I'll put some energy marks, create some texture on the tree trunk here also. That's a little bit, not too much, otherwise it starts showing here. If you don't want to do too many trees, that's fine. You can just create a one tree here, and then just, I just put it this. You can do that also. Now I put too much mark, so let's lift it up, spread it. Now, now I'm gonna get a nice sepia color, mix it up with my the raw sienna and yellow ochre mix. So let's put some more. Actually, let me use the dryer because it's still wet, right? It just won't allow me to work on the small things. Let's dry this out. Okay, so you don't need too much because that's a little bit dry surface, right? So I'm done with my dryer. Now I can work. See that now it's not smudging, right? So you can create the branches and get a light color because otherwise it'll show right away. Try to get the moisture out of your brush, and then you can create those tree branches and give some more look to your the tree that you lift the colors. Because it's in such a foreground, and I will go create some trunks here there. Okay. Some more straight from the tube, some sepia color. I need to just create some dry brush marks so it create a nice texture of the trunk like this. Same thing here. Don't make same trees, try to make them different from each other. If you make same tree, then it'll be look boring, right? Get some sepia color straight from the tube. Get some dry brush marks, the trunk of the tree, right? And just put some on the ground also, and create some more here. We don't need that. Actually, I need that here. Yeah, and then let's work on this one. Here, let's see the dry brush marks create a nice texture on the paper. So that's a good thing. I mean, for that type of painting, right? Here, very dry marks. It's now I will do. See, I have the mix here, the brown color, and I will put some a little bit more cobalt blue in it, and I got a nice gray mix. Now you can just go sit down, have a coffee or something, and work on these smaller spaces, right? I will do something quickly also here. Now, if you need you don't need those sharp marks, right? Just put some water, put some little bit water where you working, just a little bit water, and then you bring the wash, and then you see that nice soft wash uh, will uh, happen, right? You don't need to do so much. Just just put some water because I use a dryer, right? And the dryer took all the moisture of the paper. So what do? You go. Yeah, this is too harsh. Where you see that the color is too harsh, you lift it up. So see, this is the simple painting of how to do the background, and then you do the trees. That's how you lift the color. And now I'm talking about the light is coming from here, so just put a little bit dark value here on the this side of the trees, so it will show more, and it shows that these are the trees. Now we're not talking about the foliage, right? They're just dry trees. If you wanna work on something that you need to give them some more energy, and you go pick up your green color. I have this very uh, Viridian type of green color in my palette, so I will put some in my palette. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me zoom out a little bit so everybody can see what's going on here in my palette right there. So I put some green color. Now I'll mix it up with some lemon yellow. Always try to mix a few colors because it tone down the sharpness and the contrast of that color, right? Maybe put some Payne's gray in it, a little bit Payne's gray, a little bit Payne's gray, and look, it toned down. It make the color more softer, change the consistency. Now I will put some foliage in those trees. Don't do too much, otherwise, like I said, it shows right away. And maybe put some in the front tree, and go on the top. Actually, if this tree is so close that let's put some more Payne's gray, get some color, dark green color, change the consistency of the color also, so it creates some depth in your work. That light is coming from here and shows right away. So let's get some more lemon yellow. If you want, you can go straight from the tube and put on this side of the tree, because it creates a little bit more depth into your painting, because it shows that you have a light is coming from here. Okay, now let's put some, drop it here, there. Now this tree, since I have the lemon yellow in my brush, might as well use it. Let's put some liquidy type of color. It works really good. You know, like you can create this type of work very short amount of time, less energy, less effort. And now I'll go get some Payne's gray, get my nice, just drop it because this paint is so wet, and the surface, all it does, it take care of it, you know. You don't need to push the color here and there. Just put so much apart that it won't mingle so much, and it create a little bit kind of natural type of effect on this tree. So I did, I think actually, let me mix it up a little bit more. It shows too much apart here. Okay, I think this is enough. This is enough. So different work, as you can see, I apply a different type of wash here. These three look different. This is, I use lemon yellow first, and then I put a mix of Payne's gray and a green color. So this looks a little bit different. So all right, this is how you lift the color in watercolor. Put the first wash, create a horizon line with some dry brush marks here, there, and then you do lift the colors, and then whatever you want to do, you can put a trees. Let me show you actually. We can put a little bit heart here also by lifting the colors. Let's lift some colors. Let's get the acrylic brush. So if I go smudge my brush, because the wash is dry, right? It's kind of a little bit late, but we can still do some magic here. So I picked it up, a square piece of that, and always remember when you're lifting a color, if the color is light, the background, it doesn't show. But if you have a dark color, let's say here, and I'm lifting something here, it will it shows right away that you try to lift the color. So here and here is big difference, right? So let's get some sepia color, and let's create this the heart or something. So I lift the colors right here. Let's get some, make some gray color. See how much gray color I use? All gone now. I mix it up so much initially, right? Okay, here let's put some dark so this house shows more. Now I will take some burnt sienna, mix it up with the raw sienna. I get a nice mix, and then you can instead of this lifting color, I would put a nice like a brownish type of roof on this house. Let's zoom it in so you guys can see clearly what I'm doing. Let's move this here. So leave some white marks also, because it create a little texture, and then you do a little bit gray color in the front of the house, because we are assuming the light is coming from here, right? And underneath that, the roof, it creating a little bit blocking the light, so there's a shadow there. And I will put a little bit dark value here, so I can get a more contrast on this tree, I mean the house right there. Let's get some, let's put some Payne's gray. You can use any other color. You can use a French ultramarine or any other color, but I use, because class, I want to show you, you can put a dark color against to bring more contrast to your painting. Here, put some more dark color. I get a nice Payne's gray. You don't need to worry about whenever somebody see your painting, his eyes will go on this house. He's not worry about this. What is the black thing on the side? You can make small trees on the background. That's fine. Actually, I just work a little bit more on this painting. The purpose was to show you how to create it, but it's still this house I created with my by lifting the color. Then you can do the same thing. Let's block this because I lift some colors here. Let's block this. Make something here, maybe another heart or something. Let's make something. Get some sepia colored straight. Let's make a heart here. Let it expose to this side of the light, so it'll be the front of the house will be lit up and the side of the house will be darker. There you go. Another house there. Let's put some cadmium orange on the roof because it seems like very dark. It doesn't look too good. So here, it's kind of rural scene now. So here, let's block this white. Never try not to block these white patches, right? These are the beautiful. It looks really good, and you can just put some dark value on the other side, and it create a nice you know like something is on the ground. Basically, you're creating the depth in your painting by just putting a little bit dark value against this these light I mean the dry brush marks I left it. Let's put some. Let's get some shadow of these trees also. There you go. So there you see it's very simple. If painting is done, I don't want to do too much. Actually, it's already 10. It's already 11 right now. So let me show you the painting closely. Let's bring it a little bit closer. So let me just repeat what happened here. I used the gray mix. I used the cobalt blue burnt sienna mix in the sky. Then I brought down some raw sienna. I mixed a yellow ochre, and once I done that, then I lift the colors on the tree trunks. I lift it up and I create some texture on the tree trunks, and after that I create some more foliage in the tree, right? Put some freshen up that painting instead of looking. You can left it like that. It's up to you, and you can change the position of those trees. You can do one here, there, or you just keep two on the same side by side in the foreground. And then I lift the colors on that hut also, the house, to just to create how you can create some stuff, not drawing, it just lifted up a block and then you create something with the brush just by controlling the light. If you know how to control the light, then you can create that type of painting in very short amount of time. You don't need a lot of work, or you can create like 10 paintings a day, so it's not a big issue. Same thing here. I lifted, was showing you previously, so and I just made something out of here. I can paint it, I can block that white, but since it was there, I just made something quickly here. Let's get some here. There you go. See, if you crop it, it itself there's a painting there actually. If you look at it, this is a nice painting there. So when you finish the painting, a bigger painting, this is already a small painting. You can crop it. You can just take a picture and crop it. See where the painting looks good, and you can just zoom in, zoom in, zoom out, and where the you if you will tell, basically your gut feeling will tell that, hey, this part, like, see, I put it here and I start liking it. This is the part I like it. And but you can, it's all on your taste, on your preferences, what you like. So let's start the stream. I hope you understand, and the third class will be the extension of the same class as how to lift colors and how to create a space in your painting so you can work, you can make some other objects easily, instead of putting a white paint or something. Okay, let's stop the streaming, and I'll see you next week.